Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Admiral Fowler, I'm struck, and I would encourage my colleagues to look at your chart here of Chinese activity in South Central America. Just some of the key things hopping out at me: 25 out of the 33 countries hosting Chinese infrastructure projects, 60 ports, 70% increase in Chinese Navy port calls, nearly $1 billion in weapons sales, and most importantly, or at least most disturbingly, I think, both sides of the Panama Canal, with now owned in some way, shape, or fashion by the Chinese in controlling that strategic choke point. So, leads me to wonder, is the Monroe Doctrine dead, or at least on life support? And if you could elaborate a bit more on what you're doing with the interagency, because we're talking military tools here, which are critical, and I certainly support security assistance and increasing your security assistance efforts. But these are non-military tools, and what tools do you need, and what tools does the interagency need to combat this and to compete?
Certainly, the statistics you cite fuel a sense of urgency with respect to strengthening our partnerships. Partnerships are key. We like to think of it as a good neighbor doctrine. It resonates. Good neighbors have like values, and values are our strength in this hemisphere. We recently visited Argentina. They want to do more with us. They want to partner with us at a mill-to-mill level. We've got to do everything we can.
Which, by the way, now Argentina has a Chinese space tracking station, which lines up with our polar launches out of VanHerck Air Force Base.
We discussed those important issues. We've got to look to the Antarctic as well as the Arctic. China has a growing interest there. We visit Ushuaia, which is the furthest port in this hemisphere, the continental hemisphere, and it's important access. You mentioned the Panama Canal. Panama, under the current leadership there, their President Cortizo has opened with renewed commitment to a relationship with the United States. We're working on that with our Department of State. That's important. Panama is a very strategic partner with very professional security forces, and those are the investments we need to make. A small investment in security cooperation, a little goes a long way. A business person, you'd invest in it. It's a high PE stock.
No, thank you, Admiral. And I would also note, we're on the verge of having Barbados, Haiti, Honduras potentially switch their recognition of Taiwan port projects in Honduras, Cuba, and in general, and also under your purview, the Bahamas as well, in addition to potential fishing rights going to the Chinese next to our underwater testing facilities. Is that correct?
Well, China is very aggressive in the Bahamas right now with the new ambassador that's very aggressive. They have the largest embassy in the Bahamas right now, and they continue to buy up tourism industry to have access and influence. And you're exactly right. They do have access right now to an overwatch, if you will, of our Navy test and training facilities, which is very concerning. We're partnering closely with the Royal Bahamian Defense Force. They're fantastic partners for domain awareness, putting capabilities in the South right now for domain awareness, such as a radar. This year we'll put one into Nassau as well to give us additional capabilities. But a little will go a long ways for investment with regards to Bahamas and Mexico.
Thank you. Just switching to the other, the other from the Bahamas to the Arctic, and adding to some of my colleagues. My understanding, the Coast Guard has one operational icebreaker that's about 60 years old, one under construction. The Russians have dozens. Northwest Passage is now open for shipping, along with shipping from across the north side of Russia from Asia to Europe. Do we need more icebreakers?
Congressman, for persistence, I support the current plan for additional icebreakers for the Coast Guard. Your numbers are correct. They have two signed. They had a fire on one. They're about to resurrect that, which will end up with two. But for persistence, we do need extra icebreakers.
Great. And just with my remaining time, thank you for that, General. Admiral Fowler, if you could send to my office for the record your legislative proposal on adding to Plan Columbia, and I would just mention to my colleagues, we've had special forces in Colombia with an all-of-government effort now for 30 years. So there's a lot of discussion in Washington these days of endless wars, but that persistent engagement can be incredibly effective. Please send that over. Thank you.